Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, Bitcoin and crypto are still hot. The market is moving upwards. People are feeling good. I'm feeling good. I have some big announcements tonight. So, if you tuned in, congratulations. You're in for a treat. However, I also did want to talk about Bitcoin, some announcements that were made today, and also a few crypto projects you don't want to miss out on. So, let's get started. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. 3 streams weekdays, 8:30, 11:30, and 8:30. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides and NFTs at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys are in a good mood. I am. Things are looking good. So let's start out with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 43.9, still hovering around 44. Obviously, we've been making stair steps upwards, and that's what we want to see. And today is very promising, not only because of the prices going up, but also because Bitcoin decoupled itself from the NASDAQ and the market. The market overall today wasn't that good. NASDAQ ended up barely even. I think it was actually in the red. However, that didn't stop Bitcoin today, and Bitcoin kept going. That's because there were some pretty big news. Good news, in fact. Very good news. Very breaking news. And this trend could definitely continue forward as Bitcoin builds more and more momentum and as more money flows back into the market. Okay? It could definitely happen. So what was this big news from this morning? Well, it has to be this. KPMG, which is one of the big 4 accounting firms, but they do more than accounting. They announced they added Bitcoin and Ether to the balance sheet. A lot of companies and institutions are, but we just don't hear about it. A lot are still very, cautious about announcing that they've added crypto to their balance sheet. Well, KPMG is not cautious. They're like, okay, we did it. Now, we don't know how much. It could be significant. We don't know. But it's one of many that have turned the tide, that have realized Bitcoin and now even Ether are the ways to go. How else are you going to hedge against inflation? You have all this cash that's just sitting there and is being devalued due to inflation, or basically taxed away due to inflation. What could you do? Buy Bitcoin, right? That is exactly what they did. So pretty positive. And, Bitcoin for corporations, this seminar from MicroStrategy, they just had it. So I'm pretty sure KPMG attended. And I'm sure there's other companies that have attended and that probably make announcements in the future too. So overall, this jump-started everything. This didn't jump-start it. Bitcoin was already on its upward trend. This was just fuel on the fire. And we're going to probably see more of this as Bitcoin starts recovering back upwards. What else helped Bitcoin go up is short liquidations. You can see a lot more reds than the greens right now, right? And that's because Bitcoin is starting to come up. Short traders, short leverage traders are getting wrecked, and that's what we want to see. And there'll be more of this as Bitcoin keeps going higher. So it's finally, this leverage, it's just not worth it. But it's finally helping us move in the right direction again. We had too many long leverage liquidations. We need some short leverage liquidations, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So those are fantastic things. Also, what we got was this. Cash App is now live on the Lightning Network, which means sending Bitcoin is now free. Okay, breaking news on CryptosRUs.com. Yes, sending Bitcoin now between each other to friends, family, to wherever is now free on top of Cash App. So again, part of Jack Dorsey's plan to bring Bitcoin to the world, right? He promised that he was going to do this, and he did. So this is very, very significant also in terms of just making Bitcoin more useful, not just a store of value, not just a hedge against inflation, but as a payment network, as a payment system, right? This removes a lot of barriers in terms of slow speed and the transaction time and so forth, and the cost. This definitely helps. So this also came out today too. So we had a lot of good news, and of course, because people are feeling good, the fear finally is moving away. And for the first time in a very long time, we're actually in neutral now. The fear and greed index is now at 48. This morning, we jumped up into fear level from extreme fear. We finally moved to neutral. We haven't seen neutral in a very long time, since I think December. So it's been 2 months now, right? But like I always say, whenever you have a clump of fear, that's usually when people are really panicking and capitulating and thinking about panic dumping, and that's when usually the market recovers. And just like clockwork, we were hovering here in extreme fear, 10, 13, 15 for a long time, and now we are coming back. We're starting to go into orange, and pretty soon we'll get into green, and then we'll go continue upwards, right? And that's what we want to see. So overall, it's looking good. It's looking good. This is what the entire market looks like. Like basically everything is in green right now. These heat maps look great when the market is in green. When it's red, I tend not to show it because it's not pretty picture. But when the market is recovering in rally mode, everything's in green, and that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. All right. Anything else? Yeah, of course, there's a few other things. This is interesting. It compares crypto users to internet users. Now, obviously, internet, Web 1.0 took quite a long time before it started going up parabolically, okay? And it wasn't just overnight. People always think, when the internet came out, everyone just jumped in. No, it took decades. And you can argue, same with crypto, because obviously Bitcoin came out like 12 years ago or 13 years ago, so it wasn't instant. But within the last few years, crypto users and just overall growth of the networks and the addresses and transactions and everything else, right, has been growing leaps and bounds. And this is what it looks like right now, right? And I do agree with this. This is why I say Web 3.0 is so early. I mean, we're nowhere near the top, okay? And this is only going to continue forward. So just think about that. Think about how early we are right now versus, let's say, 20 years from now or even 10 years from now. We won't even recognize this space. It'll be so different, right? That's why you want to be in the game and be in early. And some people think, well, no, it's not early anymore. No, it is very early. We can't even imagine. We're talking about Web 3.0. What about Web 3.5, Web 4.0, Web 5.0? Maybe we're all going to be in a metaverse, and by the time we're in Web 5.0, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we will be, right? So it's very, very early. Okay, now let's talk about some of these crypto projects that I want to talk about. So one of the things about Web 3.0 is DeFi and total value locked, and it is coming back up. No surprise, right? No surprise. So some of the bigger companies out there, or I should say not companies, projects, they're still onboarding. They're still onboarding a lot of users, a lot of dApps, a lot of value, right? So I want to highlight some of these. So I'm going to start out with number 2 with Terra. You guys know I'm a big fan of Terra. And you know what? Raul Paul from Real Vision, who is an ex-Goldman Sachs guy, who's actually very, very, very into Ethereum and called Ethereum hitting, 30,000 someday. And I don't disagree with that. I think eventually, maybe not anytime soon. But he was asked on Altcoin Daily show a couple alternatives to Ethereum. What can actually compete with Ethereum? And one of the two is Terra. He believes in Terra a lot and also believes in Polkadot a lot. Okay? And according to him, I have said it many times, I'm a very strong believer in Terra's ecosystem. So pretty good, pretty big endorsement. But of course, Terra, as many of you guys know, one of the biggest L1s out there. TVL is number 2 right behind Ethereum, although there's a big gap between number 2 and number 1. I don't want to minimize that. I mean, the difference is like over $100 billion. So there's a big gap between number 1 and number 2. But the fact that it's at number 2 and it's growing, they have a robust ecosystem of DeFi projects and lending projects and many things. But the big thing, of course, has to be UST, their own algorithmic stablecoin, which is definitely blowing up. So besides endorsement from Raoul Pal recently, Terra also is announcing they want to get into sports. So there's a funding proposal to take about $38.5 million, right? And go heavy into some kind of partnership with a major sports team, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, unannounced, but that is the plan right now, to take about 38.5 million UST, right, and utilize it for this purpose, which we have heard of other projects do this in the past, and some made big splashes, like Crypto.com buying Staples Center's naming rights, right? We have seen that before. We have also seen StormX with Portland Trailblazers, and there's another one with some other team. So, I mean, there's ones out there, right? But they are definitely trying to get their name out. Also, because of UST, because you guys know I've talked about Anchor and getting that sweet 20% APY, right? But even one of the major dexes on Avalanche, Penguin, just announced that they are making UST the default stablecoin on their dex. So it's no longer USDT or USDC as the major or default stablecoin. It's now UST. So UST definitely is growing by leaps and bounds. It is across many chains, on Ethereum, on Avalanche, of course on Terra, and they're expanding into basically every chain out there. And the more usage, the better it is for Terra, because it causes burning and it causes a deflationary effect on Terra and Luna, and that's fantastic. So, yeah, Terra is definitely one that you don't want to miss. There's a lot of things going on, and I do think they're going to continue forward. That's number 1. Number 2 is Polygon. Okay, I mentioned this morning. I will mention it again. But Sequoia Capital just announced a $450 million round. They didn't announce, but they were part of this fund round. $450 million to help further support of Web 3.0 development. Okay, many participate in this. Kevin O'Leary is in here. Galaxy Digital, Sequoia Capital, SoftBank, some of the major guys. They're getting involved because they know Web 3.0 is just getting started. I mean, this is what I've been saying. Web 3.0 is getting started. It's so many are comparing it to Web 1.0. Like, we just don't know what's going to happen. But everyone knows they don't want to miss it, right? And Polygon is in a very good position to really help accelerate Web 3.0 because of their chain, because of the dApps that they have, their growth in TVL, which, by the way, is growing by leaps and bounds right now. Not as much as Terra's, but they are definitely growing, right? And they have a really tight relationship with Ethereum. And I make this argument that while everyone's waiting for Ethereum 2.0, Polygon is already here. It's basically Ethereum 2.0 already here, already complete. So, Polygon is going to continue forward. And they're still, I mean, in terms of market cap, they're still relatively small compared to some of the bigger players like Avalanche is above them, Polkadot, Terra, of course, Solana, Cardano. Still pretty cheap, all things considering, but they're having a really good day today. So, second one is Polygon. Now, the third one is a smaller project, and many of you guys, have caught on, but it's Kadena. Kadena is a small L1. They have terrific technology, actually based on Bitcoin's consensus mechanism. They can scale infinitely with no fees at all. They have a brilliant team, all right, and even a founder of cryptography is like is a advisor to the team. I mean, they have a stacked team as well. This is why I like Kadena. But what I really like is that they're really early right now, right? So if you go to their ecosystem and you look at some of the things that's broken down, it's very, very early. For example, their DEX, CADEX, I've been mentioning about CADEX a lot. They are actually having their public sale right now. Unfortunately, it's not available for US residents. But CADEX just created a browser-based wallet, pretty nifty. They're building out a DEX, a fully operational DEX, and this is just the beginning. So there's going to be more DEXs coming on board. In terms of metaverses, there's only one, UFO Gaming. Some of you guys have heard of it, right? So it's very early, but that's why I like them, right? And I think along with everything else, they're on all the right exchanges right now. And in terms of NFTs, there's not that many, just a few. So I do think Kadena definitely has potential, right? I saw that they came up. They're like almost $8 now. They were once upon a time like at 20, fell below 5. Now they're coming back up and they're rising fast. So pay attention. Pay attention to Kadena. All right, last one is, of course, Cardano. You guys know Cardano. Almost everyone in this space have heard of Cardano before. Cardano continues to execute. They have added 9,000 wallets daily in 2022. Think about that, okay? A lot of people are coming aboard the Cardano ecosystem. Their CNFT marketplace, many people have used it. It is starting to blow up. This could be a big contributor to why wallets are going up. The number of stakers is still high, above 70%. And of course, there's a few DEXs out there, but the one that everyone's, that's really using smart contracts without order books, the one that everyone's looking at is SundaeSwap. And of course, they are operational now. And looking at their queue, they have come down quite a bit. The depth count in terms of how many pending transactions is at 6,000 now. When they first came out, this was like well over 10,000. So it has started to come down. But they also do face some congestion issues right now. They are working at it. But just like Kadena, Cardano is just early in terms of TVL. There's not many projects that's actually locking liquidity. And the more that locks in, the better it is. And when you combine this with the loyal subjects of Charles, who will continue to follow Charles and Cardano forever, right? You combine all this together, Cardano is not going anywhere, and it's definitely one that you should pay attention to. And I've said this before, even without all the TVL and everything, the fact that it's still at number 6 in a top 10 is pretty amazing if you think about it. And this is due to the staking and due to Charles and due to people waiting for it to be done. So there you go. So the 4 I want to talk about is Terra, Polygon, Kadena, and Cardano today. But of course, outside of these, there are many, many, many others. I didn't talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is still a very, very good hold. Everyone, in fact, KPMG also bought Ether, right? So they definitely agree. So Ethereum is still a very good hold. I would argue a must hold. And there are others like BNB, which is part of Binance Smart Chain, Solana, which actually surprising is not coming up, in a big way right now, but that could change. And then you have Polkadot that's in there, and there's many others. Cosmos is coming up, right? I like Cosmos. I like Phantom. I like Harmony. Phantom's right here. VeChain. I hear a lot more about Hedera these days. They're another L1. Tezos is another one. Harmony is up here coming up, right? Gala, I've been talking a lot about Gala recently. Even played a game, Townstar, right? They're blowing up. They're not really a L1, but they are promising. There's just a lot of good stuff right now. A lot of good stuff. Things are recovering, but still cheap compared to 90 days ago, because for the most part, everything is still down versus 90 days ago, with the exception of a few like Terra and Polygon and Crypto.com, which is actually higher right now than 90 days ago, which is actually really amazing, because if you look at something like Solana is down like 50% and Polkadot is down 55%, and SHIB is still down 41% despite the fact it has been pumping recently. So kind of shows you that, yeah, some projects have just been holding stronger than others. But there you go. All right. Now I have 2 other major things I want to announce for you guys, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Well, first of all, everyone enjoys free money. A lot of people have been asking me about my 600K giveaway, right? I started it last year along with the end of year giveaway. And, I have to select 5 winners, and I did. So 5 people will win $1,000 worth of Bitcoin, right? Absolutely free just by watching my channel, being a subscriber, helping me grow, right? So the winners are these. They're a little bit hard to read, but I have a notepad. But overall, there was about 1,700 entries that got the right number because it required you to actually have the right number. You had to actually watch my stream to get the numbers, right? So selected 5 people. Unfortunately, there was 2 others I selected that actually put in the wrong address, so I had to disqualify them. But if you are one of these 5, congratulations. Nawaf, Andres, Jordy, Emily, and Migs. Okay, so I already have your address. That's part of the entry. So in the near future, I'll be sending you $1,000 worth of Bitcoin just for watching this show. So congratulations, guys. And I'll probably do another one. I just don't know. I don't know what it'll be, like a whole year thing or 100,000, another 100,000 subscribers. I don't know. I'll think about it, but stay tuned. And then the other thing I want to talk about is, since NFTs are so hot, I have to announce my next NFTs. I Am George number 16 is out. The 15 just ended yesterday. Actually, it ended quite high. There was a bidding war right at the end. But the next one is out, number 16, right? This one is where I'm kind of like a fisherman. If you like fishing. Fishing for cash, make the association. But besides this, I've decided to make a very special one for a lot of you guys. I've heard of complaints saying, well, these are too high. I can't participate. They end up way too high, right? I want something that's more affordable, something that I could support. And I know a lot of you guys love me saying strap on. So I did create one, a special I Am George strap on, where I am strapped on to a rocket ship heading to the moon. Okay? And this is a special one. It's not a number one. And I have made it so that most of you guys, if you want to support me, or if you just simply want to get one of these fantastic NFTs, you could do so. This is actually on top of Polygon. So the price is 0.03 ETH. Okay? That's it. It's a set price under $100, and there will be 1,000 of these. And the auction is going for 2 months. Okay? That's the farthest I could go. So after 2 months, this will be ending. Okay? So 1,000 of these. So if you want to grab a special NFT, one that's affordable and one that's me strapped on, well, here you go. Okay? So this is both up and live already, and I have the URL in the description if you want to take a look at it. All right. That is it. Now let's do some Q&A. I see you guys like that strap-on one. I figured since a lot of you guys like it and you want something more affordable, there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I do plan on making all these, just so you know, every single I Am George NFT is not just a picture. All these come with exclusive benefits, including, future conferences. And there's a lot more airdrops that I want to do. And there's a lot more things coming to all of these NFTs. I'm going to make sure that I will provide value to them, and continuous value basically forever. So just want to throw that out there. All right, now scrolling up. Crypto Tag asked about CKB. Nervos. Nervos looks like they're trying to change, right? Obviously, moving towards EVM because they came out their layer 2. But what they're really concentrating on is bridges. And they have a tight relationship with Cardano. And they have a bridge to Ethereum. And they have a bridge to Binance Smart Chain. And soon they'll have a bridge to somewhere else. So they are basically one big bridge play for Cardano, but also they're in EVM, dApps. They're trying to get dApps aboard. I think they have potential. It's just early. SC says, George, I love your 3 times a day streams. Great time slots. Please stick to them. I want to, but the only thing I think is the 8:31 in the morning. It's actually 8:15, and then the 11:45, which I say 11:30. That seems to be a little bit close. But I'll try to stick with it. And you guys know my morning stream is more like covering market open. I cover more stock stuff. I relate it to crypto, but it's a little bit different. I talk more about economic news or breaking results or reports, right? So it's a little bit different. It's not 100% crypto, although I do still talk about crypto. And I think a lot of you guys will like that because a lot of you guys are in equities markets and you hold other things besides crypto. Ryan and Casey Olson asked, thoughts on SHIB's price jump? Is it too late? It's not too late if you look at where it was 90 days ago. Okay, it's still down 41% versus 90 days ago. So to answer your question, no, it's not too late. But the other question you should be asking is, should I buy Shiba versus, say, Polygon or Avalanche or Terra? The answer is, for me, the answer is no. I prefer L1s much more than, say, Shiba, though Shiba is trying to make themselves into a legit project, trying to make themselves more like an L1. So, love Cosmos. Yep. Have you heard of Nakamoto Games? Naka, what do you think? Well, yeah, they're a gaming platform. In fact, there is an article on CryptosRUs.com about Nakamoto Games. I'm not that familiar with them, but they, I've heard many people talk about them. I need to get myself more familiar. Is PAX G a good diversification in my portfolio? Want a bit of gold? I have no comment on that. It's pegged to gold. I know it's from Paxos, but I'm not a gold guy. I'm just not a gold guy. Mike Warren says, congrats. Congrats to everyone that won. Harmony 1 launch day for BTC Bridge. Okay. That is coming up. All right, now I'm finally caught up to most of the chats here, I think. What? No. What's up with XRP? I also don't know. XRP just started moving. I guess there has to be some development with the lawsuit with the SEC. I don't know. I have not heard anything. But it is moving up 23%. But I'm still not a fan of XRP. I don't know what the DCA into, BTC, ADA, or Theta. Theta's biggest loser. Well, then just spread it out. You could do all three, right? DCA is not something that you have to do, like it sounds like many, I'm not saying you exactly, Jay, but many, they DCA when things start coming back up because they want that verification that, oh, things are going to get better, right? But true DCA is you just set a schedule. You just do it per week or 2 weeks or whatever, or you just simply buy whenever things have dropped a certain percentage, 20%, 30%, 50%, whatever, right? You want to just get yourself to follow some kind of routine rather than try to time top or bottom. That's where it gets dangerous. But in your case, I think all three are good. So, I mean, it just really depends on your portfolio and how diversified you are. Akala, Polkadot's DeFi stablecoin is operational tomorrow. Big TVL for Polkadot. Polkadot's TVL is a little bit smaller than it should be, but if that helps them, great, because TVL is important. I think many people don't realize the importance of TVL. I mean, it really does lock in the liquidity and prevents people from making silly trades because they're making rewards anyway, so they're going to hold no matter what. And it really does, make things more scarce and just basically removes liquidity from the exchanges and the ecosystem. Is Matic possibly going to be useless once Ethereum 2.0 comes out? No. Look at how they are growing right now. They're already Ethereum 2.0. All the major NFT projects are all moving, have moved, or plan on moving to Polygon. So no. And if they were going to be useless, they would not be getting a $450 million funding round. Okay? All these guys that put it in here, they're not just doing it for 6 months. Okay? They know Polygon is here to stay. And I agree with that. All right. I like Flux. They're kind of decentralized cloud computing. I think they have potential. Not as sexy as some of the other projects. DOT is lagging despite the parachain auction. Seems to be no demand. I think it just, again, comes down to TVL I just talked about, right? Do I like Safe Haven? No, I do not. All right, we're seeing some of these chats. Thoughts on Juno growing as fast as L1 on Cosmos? That was asked for me yesterday. It's only on Osmosis. It needs, in order for it to really grow, it needs to get on some centralized exchanges. But I did look at them. I haven't done enough research to say anything, but yeah, I will take a better look at them. Someone else has mentioned them yesterday, so I will put that on my list. IoTX is a L1, but it's an L1 based on IoT devices. So it's not something that I'm really interested in. They have a few stuff going on. They have a few products actually already running, like a webcam and something else. But they also have liquidity pools and they have AMMs. So they have some stuff going on, but it's just not very appealing to me. Split DOT and FTM in case, what? Split 50 DOT, 50 F. Let's just say this: I like Phantom a lot, and I like KCS as an exchange. I think they're like a mini Binance, so I like both of them. Whether or not you should do that, it's up to you. Thoughts on Joe asked, thoughts on staking metaverse plays? Is it too early to get locked in? No, you could. I mean, it's not like you're locked in forever. Staking in almost any of these metaverse projects, you could take out pretty much any time. For example, Illuvium. I have some Illuvium tokens. I'm locked in there. It's just staking for 2 weeks. And there's many others that allow you to just stake, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Theta, a lot of people asked about Theta, but I got turned off by Theta because, I think they spread themselves too thin. They were talking about NFTs for a long time, and they kind of just disappeared. I don't know what happened with the relationship with Katy Perry. They tried to go after some influencers. They tried to talk to me. The guy I was dealing with was horrible, so it seemed like they weren't really ready for it. But now they came out their third token, trying to really push Theta TV and utilize this T-Drop token as like a currency, and it's also going to be used for NFTs and so forth. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. There's 3 tokens, so I don't know how it's going to do. I do like them as a decentralized platform. They're still the biggest, but it just seemed like they were a little bit too stretched or a little bit, the focus wasn't there. Let's just put it that way. And if they could turn themselves around, they could definitely come back. Because Theta also is, not, besides just being a decentralized video platform or streaming platform, they also have their own swap. They also have, they have Theta TV. They have a lot of stuff. It's just, yeah. Harmony's 20% fixed income using Anchor Protocol earn goes live soon. Are you serious? You serious? Harmony's gonna be using Anchor Protocol? I didn't hear that, Greg. That would be huge. That would be huge. What is it? Go be 1? If you could lock in 1, I mean, it still won't be as good as UST though, because UST, you don't have to worry about price fluctuations. With 1 or anything else, you still have to worry about that. So, but that would be big, and that would be big for Terra too, because Anchor is Terra's project. So, I didn't know about the relationship. That's actually pretty good. That's not just good. That's pretty big, really big, in fact. Yes, I talked about Cardano already, where he's staking Illuvium just through their own website. And you could do it through your wallet, like Trust Wallet. It's very simple. Pretty sure your NFT is selling a bundle of 1,000 as opposed to buying 1,000 separate things. Oh, Scott, thank you for that. I don't know. That's the first time I've created one worth a multiple. If that's the case, I'll have to redo the auction. But I will fix it. I will fix it. Or someone could just buy 1,000 of them, and end the auction. But I'll fix that. Thank you for that. Thoughts on Wax? If Wax didn't have such a complicated token economics with like 5 different tokens, I think they would do much better. But I still don't get all the differences between Wax P, Wax E, Wax whatever, A and B, and there's just so much. Everyone that's asking about Tectonic, I'm just gonna warn you. If you try to shill it, you will be banned from this channel. Okay? Tectonic is the latest scam coin. Don't get into it. And there's many people that are trying to shill it because they want you to get into it. Don't get into it. Abstract, I just announced them. Yes. Scroll back a little bit. I just announced the 5. So I will be giving the Bitcoin away. Don't ask me about Doge Junior Inu, Pika. That's just stupid. All right, I think that's pretty much it. All right. That is it. Overall, Bitcoin is still holding very, very well. And we'll see tomorrow, right? It has decoupled from NASDAQ at least for a day. We'll see if this continues tomorrow. I don't even know if the NASDAQ is up tomorrow, but tune in tomorrow at 8:30 and you'll see. 8:30 a.m., I should say. So things are just looking good right now. I mean, this could continue. Obviously, it could keep going, right? There's a big recovery, and whenever there is, FOMO comes back in. So we could definitely see this continue. So let's see what happens tomorrow. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. What do you think about Strong? Ken, I've never heard of that before. And cheapest way to get fiat to UST and Terra Station, use KuCoin. Use KuCoin or Gate.io and make sure you select the Terra network when you're withdrawing. All right, guys, that is it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:15 Central Standard Time for my morning open stream. And of course, check out I Am George 16 and a new strap on. But I don't know if this is right, so I might have to fix this. But you guys check it out if you're interested. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.